Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Michigan Farms map by TaylorFarms and SaltyShorty. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Michigan Farms map by TaylorFarms and SaltyShorty. This little bad mamma jamma is 272.45 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. Now this map here, it does have 4 starting farms, although you could make an argument for a couple other plots you can buy to get yourself started up on. It does have a custom sugar beet factory. Oh, you betcha it does. So with that being said, guys, one of the things that we go ahead and do here is we start every gameplay off on new farmer mode. That way you guys know what you get if you do start off in new farmers mode. So with that being said, let's take a look at that machinery. And here is your machinery. This is what we got starting off with medium tractors. You got a John Deere 7810, gotta love that. Large tractors, you have yourself not 1, but 2, but 3 John Deere tractors. Trucks, you have 1 Mack Anthem 6x4. And that does come along with 1 Crampe SKS 30 1050. Gotta love that. Harvester-wise, you have an Axle Flow by Case, and that does come along with a TerraFlex Draper header and a corn header for all your corn harvesting needs. Beet technology, you have the Ropa Panther 2 for harvesting, and that comes with the Ropa header for the harvester. Pretty darn slick. Vehicles-wise, you have the Lizard pickup truck and the John Deere utility vehicle. Cultivators-wise, you have the Rothless Mesh K12200. Disc harrows, you have the Speed Tiller by Case, pretty darn slick. Seeders, the Verstat Rapid A. Planters, you have the John Deere 1775, pretty darn cool. Sprayers, you have the Hardy setup with both the sprayer and the utility tank. And fertilizer spreaders, you have the Amazon. Now, this does only spread fertilizer, so if you have to do lime, you're going to have to look at something else. And that is your starting machinery. Now that we've taken a look at the starting machinery, let's see where you're going to use that machinery on the map. And here is your map, and as you can see just by quick glance, you have a lot of really regular shape fields. You have a couple angles here, but nothing curvy at all, except for maybe this as being the one exception. Other than that, everything's straight as an arrow, nice and true as you go ahead and look at it. You do have a couple smaller fields, but for the most part, you have medium to large sized fields on this. As you take a peek at this, you do see there are tons of the placeables up at the top here where you have your selling locations and then all of your production facilities. You do have one production facility that's not right on over there, and that would be the sugar mill, the sugar beet piler, the sugar beet piler, and the sugar beet piler. You betcha, 3 sugar beet pilers. So we'll take a look at this a little bit later on to see what this is going to happen, see what's going on with this. But for the time being, guys, this is what we're going to be taking a peek at. We'll take a look at our land right here. Starting off as your starting farm, you do end up having these plots right here. This field 36 is one of the starting locations. The other starting farms come on over here at number 29, which is 104,000. Number 12, which is 134,000. And then number 42 up here coming in at 87,000. Now, I did say there were a couple other plots that looked like they probably could go ahead and set something up on. That would be plots number 61, 60, and 59. And then also plot number 43. They're all very reasonably priced. And especially number 61. 61 is the absolute cheapest plot on the map, coming in at $19,000. Now, opposite end of the spectrum, most expensive on the whole map, Field number 72 coming in at a whopping $690,000. That's not too shabby. But take a look at the cheapest field, not plot, but the cheapest field on here is field 30. So in between the 160, you have 108,000. So everywhere in between there, that's what you're going to be looking at for field prices. It's not too bad. It's not unrealistic. You do have a couple forestry plots on here, though, to go ahead and sink your teeth in if that is what you really want to jump into. Not too shabby at all. All of these locations up here are all the placeable areas, or I should say not placeable, but all of your miscellaneous places, like your selling points, things like that. So if you want to try and tuck a factory, tuck a placeable up in there, you do have that option. Plus, also on this map, you do have, train locations where you can go ahead and rent the train so you can go ahead and sell that off-site. Keep that in mind, guys. So, guys, that's what we're looking at right here. Pretty darn slick. Let's go ahead, take a little bit of a moment, and get ourselves down on the ground and walk around and see what this one looks like from down below. So everyone, taking a look at the farm here where we go ahead and start off at, you can see they have some very, very nice detail done on these buildings. All the buildings here are custom. I should say these red buildings all on here are custom. When you start on anything other than new farmer mode, the farmhouse is not here. Otherwise, the rest of this stuff is here, so you can go ahead and purchase this plot of land and have access to all this stuff right away. But you do have quite a bit of storage, and these buildings are pretty darn slick. Speaking of the buildings here, you can come on here, and you can actually go ahead and purchase them if you want. Underneath the sheds category, you have all these sheds that you have the capability of taking a peek at. They're all here. Pretty darn slick. As for other custom things that are special to this map, you have the Michigan farmhouse, which is right here. Production-wise, you have the, where is it? There we go, the sugar beet piler, so you have that. And then the other thing that's on here would be the plants. There's a whole list of custom foliage that's ready and raring to go, that's very specific to this map. So that's pretty darn slick that you got all those extra options to get jumping onto. Now, as you can see here, guys, it's not, you have room to expand. This is all the farms are done pretty much the exact same way. In the factory, you have a couple buildings, but you also have like this green space out here where you can go ahead and do whatever the heck you want. Maybe you want another silo out here, or a silo in this case. Get a silo out here to help your worries. Maybe you want to get into grass, you can put a silage clamp out here. You know, whatever it is. It is nice because they do have these starting areas for you to get yourself going, but you can do whatever you want with it. Make your own dream. Do you, I guess is the best way to say it. Do you. Okay, so before we go ahead and get ourselves rocking and rolling here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn the map on in the corner. That way you guys can follow along with me as we go on our whirlwind tour. So one thing I'm going to make very clear right off the bat, guys. I can't go ahead and drive just on the fields. This is one of the things I really, really like doing, to show you guys what the fields look like, to really let you sink in, because the majority of time that we spend out here doing things, we're out here working on the fields, doing little bits and pieces like that. As you can kind of see, there's a little bit of a bump here and there, but that's about it. That's going to be continuing theme throughout this entire map. Now, this is one of the safe areas where I can come across right here, but what you have to worry about is, once you get up here, you'll see there's a little bit of a river, and there's drainage ditches all over the place on this map. So if you want to do things like me and just run around and do all that, drive through the fields, go crazy, show everybody these different things, well, you can't do it. You can't do it. Plus, you might miss little tractors, little toys. We do have collectibles on this map, so that is a pretty darn slick thing. Traffic-wise, as you can kind of see right here, we have this one car and then the one way down over there. That's about as intense as everything gets on this map. You really don't have super intense traffic, super aggressive traffic like you find on some of the other maps that are out there, so you don't have to worry. Now, one of the things specifically said in the description of this map is about the collectibles. The majority of the collectibles you guys can go ahead and find fairly easy, but there's a big but here. But you run into the issue of some of them are going to take a little bit more creativity to try and figure out how to get at them. So keep that in mind. All right, let's come in here, take a look at this next farm location. Got a nice U.S. flag standing up there, considering this is in Michigan, USA. Pretty darn slick. Again, same thing like I was telling you. Nice big yard, nice big storage facilities that you got going on here. But also you do have the green space to go ahead and change things around, add things that you don't want or that aren't on here. You can even see right here, you got a path heading out here for your dreams. Your dreams are sitting out there. You just got to put the stuff down and do what you want to do with it. Pretty darn slick, pretty darn slick. This is another one of the things that's also pretty darn cool right here. Riley. Sorry. You do have these Massey Fergusons that are sitting on here. A couple extra collectibles. The Massey Fergusons, as you can see, a little bit more. So there are these other collectibles to go ahead and get on here. All right, we're going to keep on going with our tour. We're going to hit the other farms for sure. We'll take a slight little drive through town before we head over by the Sugar Beet Haven. You betcha, the Sugar Beet Haven. Now, there were some custom textures that were also put in here to kind of add a little bit of realism to things that are going on. One of the things is the soybeans. Soybeans right off the side here? I can't tell. That's potatoes. I'm sorry, I was being crazy. That's potatoes. Let's see. I'm going to double check here really quick in just a second. We'll get up here a little bit farther, but I want to make sure that we go ahead and take a peek at these soybeans because they are supposed to be more realistic. They're supposed to give you that little bit of an... All right, guys, cutting in right now. I just heard me mention saying that we were going to go ahead and stop by one of the soybean fields. Well, whoops. I made a mistake. Now we're coming back here and taking a look at it. The biggest difference with the soybeans that you can go ahead and see right off the bat is they're not planted all willy-nilly. They're planted like soybeans are, in rows, because that's how soybeans are planted. This is how they're harvested. So they've also gone ahead and taken a little extra time, put a little extra detail into these things as well. One other thing that I did not mention, and you will have seen on the thumbnail up there, is that this map does have alfalfa. You betcha it does have alfalfa, and the alfalfa has been gone ahead and integrated in with the feeding system when it comes to the animals. You can go ahead and cut this, bale it up, or you can go ahead, windrow it, the whole 9 yards. Go ahead and take care of it and feed it to your animals. You can feed it to the horses, the cows, and the sheep, depending on how you want to go about doing it. It does have that stuff in there as well, and I do apologize for cutting back in. Now let's jump back in and listen to me talk just a little bit more. Edge of reality. They're going to look a little bit more realistic than what you'd normally end up finding. So reason why I'm coming up through here into town, I don't normally like to drive into the towns, but I want to give you the opportunity to show you that even in the town, on this road right here, we're going to cut across in just a second. And don't be scared, driving off-road. Yep, it's going to happen. Sorry, it's happening right there. The other road as well. Traffic isn't bad. It really isn't bad at all. It's very, very nice, actually. And then coming on up over here, we do have the store, which is also where things will spawn when you're all said and done and need to reset something because you've pulled the LockNutz and driven right into one of those ditches and completely destroyed your vehicle. So you have that going for you. All right, we're going to try and cut across here. No, we're not, because I can see there's a ditch over there already. We're going to go around the horn here and not give in to temptation. We'll take an opportunity and go ahead and take a peek at this little forestry area that's right over here. Okay, nope, I'm going first. There we go. Okay, so the forestry area, as you guys can go ahead and see, you do have your trees that are out here. They're relatively evenly spaced. They're not too bad. One thing that is brought up is that the map is very, very close to the max amount of trees that you can actually have on it. So even though you take a look at this here and it does seem like it's kind of sporadic, there actually are quite a few trees out on this land, or on the map. Keep that in mind. So starting up over here in the corner, this is one thing I wanted to take a peek at here and show you guys. Starting up here in the corner, working our way back down this way, These are all those narrow plots of land. I believe it's plot 59, 60, and 61, all along here. This is all it is. It's just flat land and grass. Nothing to get in your way, unless you want to make a big deal out of it, you know. Again, here we go. Next farm that we're sitting at here, pretty darn slick. You don't have to worry about much of anything. It's kind of a little bit more cramped than the other ones, but I believe it's also the cheapest. So you have that going for you. Plus, you also, again, like all the other ones, you have the area around to go ahead and expand and do whatever it is that you would like to do. Let's go ahead and shuffle on off over here. And as you guys can see, we'll take a look at that in a second here. Don't worry. Oh, watch out for the ditch. All right, there we go. Now, as we're driving on over here, most of the time when I'm doing the map tours, I go ahead and I talk about the fields and all this stuff and everything. You know, what you're going to want to look at, what you're going to have to go ahead and deal with. But on this map right here, as you guys probably have been able to see, it's very, very flat. You don't have to really worry about horsepower requirements or anything like that. You're going to be fine no matter what you want to do. The only thing that you're probably going to want to do, because of the size of a lot of these fields, probably going to want to upsize your vehicles just to be able to get done with the fields quicker. But there's nothing telling you that out here you run into absolutely zero obstacles, other than it will take an incredibly long period of time. If you want to get out here and rock and roll with a 2-meter plow, by all means, go ahead and do it. You're not going to have to oversize anything because of hills or bumps or anything like that. It's just going to take you forever. That's it. You really only, if you want to upgrade and get bigger pieces of equipment, there's going to be no reason other than you just want to. So that's not too bad of a thing. Now, again, we come over here and we see another one of these custom buildings. This is very, very cool. All the doors are very functionable, except when you don't own the land, so you can't do anything. But let's just... Yep, when we jump and look in the door, it looks pretty cool. Oh, man. Okay, so let's get ourselves back out and rocking and rolling, taking a look at things, because there was something pretty cool up over this way. I forgot. It's up over here. You can see there's a little bit of a hill over there. Pretty darn cool. I think it's pretty darn cool. Let's go ahead. No, we can't cut across that because of the ditch. All right. Now, one of the cool things that I did end up noticing on here, Mackinac, Michigander, nice names that they have. All of them are Michigan related. Mackinac with the Mackinac Islands. Michigander is something that it's what you call a person or a citizen of Michigan. A Michigander. Mackinac again, Michigander. Perfect. It's kind of neat because the time was taken to go ahead and add the little details like the signs, adding the little names, the things like that. It's pretty darn cool. All right, let's get ourselves going over here, and there we go. Now, if you're wondering, you know, have all this flat land around here, well, where did all the hills go? Well, right there. Right there. So you may be asking yourself, what the heck is that doing right there? And I will be 100% honest with you. I don't know, unless you just want to have some fun. I mean, that would be the only reason why this hill would be here. I can't think of another reason. I just can't. I can't. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'll do it for everyone's sake. You betcha, you betcha, you betcha. And then let's get out. Because I have a feeling... Let's see here. Nope, I thought there would be a placeable up here. Or not a placeable, but I was wrong. Sorry about that. All right, let's get out of this. Oh my gosh, there's a fence and everything. All right. So now after all that nonsense is done, we got our sillies out of the way. Let's go ahead, jump back in, and take a look at them sugar beets, because it is a pretty darn cool thing that's going on over here. Now, like I was kind of talking about a little bit with the sugar beets, or no, I really haven't talked about the sugar beets, just thinking that in my head. Bear with me. So each of the sugar beet factories, the pilers, those are all of them. There's 3 of them on the map here. All 3 of them are $15,000 a piece. Okay, so you go ahead and you put your sugar beets into the piler, and what you get out of it is dirt. Dirt, yes, that's what I said, dirt. You get dirt as a byproduct. You get paid for the beets. We'll go ahead and show you here in just a second. All right, go ahead, get yourself in here. And right here. Turn that off. We'll go ahead and take care of that in just a second. But this one over here, don't mind me while I run fast over here. But just to go ahead and show you, like I said, $15,000, not too shabby. We'll go ahead and purchase that. I've actually purchased all 3 of them. Now, one of the really cool things about this is that the sugar beet locations here, they all have their own price to them. So depending on which one has the highest price, you can go ahead and sell them there. Pretty darn slick. But for production-wise, this is what you have. 10,000 beets go in, 10,000 beets come out, and you get your dirt, your Tare Dirt. Now, what the heck is Tare Dirt? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. What the heck is Tare Dirt? Tare Dirt is the dirt that is clinging to the beets that you need to go ahead and get rid of before they can go ahead and be sold off and do all the nonsense that you got to do with them. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to come on over here and take care of our sugar beets. Sell them off, process them, however you want to take a peek at it. However you want to say it, I should say. Let's go ahead and drop ourselves right off over here. There we go. Dump it. Put the map on there so it's not so jazzy. Let all of that get in there. Should be starting to process. Oh yeah, see that up there? Oh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You're looking at a win. You're looking at a win. All right, there you go. So we've gone ahead and put our sugar beets into there. Which one has it? There it is. That one has it. And that, let's see here. It's already missing material. It's gone through that stuff so much. But now what? Oh, we got 2,113 liters of Tare Dirt. All right, well, let's come on up here, get our Tare Dirt, and what do we got to do with this? All right. There we go. There's our dirt, our Tare Dirt. Perfect. So, let's go ahead and do what we have to do with the Tare Dirt. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do with this is we're going to go ahead and take it back to our field, our land. You have to do this on your land. And we're going to dump it in the field. Yep, dump it right onto the field. Now, this is something that's pretty darn cool. I have only seen this take place on this particular map. So if I'm wrong, I do apologize. Comment down below. This is the first time that I've seen something like this on a map. I think it's pretty darn cool. So what you have to do is you actually have to take this over to your own field, and you have to dump it out in your own field. Okay, sounds simple enough, but I'm going to have this loose material out in your field. You know what happens if you have like a pile of rocks that you accidentally dump out in the field, so it's stuck there. Got to go get a bucket, get rid of it. Well, what are you going to do? Well, this is your dirt. Why should the beet factory be able to have your dirt? This is your dirt. Go ahead and start dumping this out here. Get rid of this. Come on, right there. Dump it. Right there, just like that. All right, perfect. Now that we've gone ahead and dumped our dirt, next step, you take any one of these type of implements that goes ahead and works the land, and what it actually does is it levels it out and gets rid of it. It's a very, very cool little extra step. Now, from what I understand, this is kind of what happens in the real world when you're dealing with sugar beets and items like this. You get the dirt, you take it out in your fields, and then you go ahead and you just plow it back on in. And as you guys can see, voila, gone. It's been put back into the ground. Now, from what I understand, it doesn't really do anything to the status of the field or anything like that. All it does is just puts it back into the ground. It's dirt that accidentally got stuck onto the sugar beets when you were going ahead and picking them. They went over there, you cleaned it off, and now you're left with dirt. Now you got to take that dirt, get rid of it. Not too bad. Could be worse. Could be better. Well, not better. It's just cool. It's just a neat little fact, a neat little tip that they ended up going ahead and doing to put in here to add to the realism, guys. So with that being said, now that we've taken a little tour around the map, we've dug around with our sugar beets and our Tare Dirt, let's go ahead, fly up into the sky, and take a look at this one from up above. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fly up into the sky. Not too shabby, not too shabby. So like I said, guys, before, this has a lot of regularly shaped fields. No really weird things. Helpers should be able to navigate these fields pretty darn well. Traffic's not bad at all. You do have a little bit of this windiness that's coming in because of the darn river that's getting in your way. Oh my gosh, I'll drown in there for sure. That's for darn sure. But you do have all these neat things that are out here. You have the custom buildings. You have the nice little town setting. And probably one of the cooler things that I would have to say
notification bell, have
is
it
the
turned
fact that
on
you
and set
don't
all
have
that way you know
all
when
of
this
that
and other
traffic
great
just
videos are coming on
murdering
out
you
by
when you're trying to
myself.
live your own
Guys,
life,
I tell
living
you
your
what,
own farm
I tell you
dream.
what.
And I wanted to make
Until
sure I
I
stop
see you
back
guys
over
out here,
because this is
hopefully
one
not
of
in
the
the
other
ditch like
plots
I
that
will
you
be.
have.
Thanks
It's not
for stopping
necessarily
by.
a starting plot, but I tell you what, you can see yourself getting set up right in there. Oh, I tell you what, it looks pretty darn neat. Guys, this is a very, very fascinating map. It gives you the opportunity to get rip-roaring with a bunch of friends, or go ahead and try and tackle the farming world all by yourself. The choice is yours completely. And speaking of a choice, guys, comment down below. Let me know. How do you want to start this one? Are you going to be the sugar daddy of the map? I don't know. You're going to be the sugar daddy Michigander? Beats me. Oh, I couldn't resist the beat joke, guys. I couldn't resist the beat joke. Oh, I tell you what, guys, if you're liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. I would appreciate it. You betcha, you betcha. Hit that subscription. Oh my gosh, does it help the channel out or what? Share this with a fellow Michigander or someone who likes sugar beets. I don't know. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Hit that